Hi, my name is Muriel Marseille. I am a graduate student at UWM. I am here to discuss with you today a proposal entitled CensChat, the Viber-based virtual reference service from the U.S. Census to you. Before I begin, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to two distinguished guests in our audience. One is the director of the U.S. Census Bureau. It's Mr. Steve Dillingham. Hello, Mr. Dillingham. Thank you for coming today. Also, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to an expert in digital information services, Dr. Carol Saber. Hello, Dr. Saber. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now again, my name is Muriel Marseille. I am not a librarian nor an information scientist. I am a geographer. I'm training to be a geographic information scientist. My focus in offering this proposal requires you to imagine library virtual references in a way that has not been used before, in a way that focuses solely on geographic information. Working with census data is challenging for students across disciplines. As this is a central data source for researchers, I propose that the U.S. Census Bureau work with designated regional and local library staff to deliver a virtual reference chat service for those who would like to access census data. Now, the goal of this proposal is to offer the U.S. Census Bureau a new digital service. The Bureau's institutional focus has been on gathering demographic and descriptive data of the American population and its landscape. However, accessing that data can sometimes be quite cumbersome. The service that I am proposing entails introducing live chat sessions between designated Census Bureau trained locational specialists, or in layman's terms, librarians, and the public. Researchers, scholars, business professionals, and information enthusiasts will be able to go to their local library website and access this service. What is this service? This service is CensChat. It's a chat service where patrons can click on it and discuss the data that they've acquired or the data they need, or how to apply geographic data to a project. Now, why is it important that the Census Bureau implement such a program? Traditionally, looking up information on the Census Bureau website has been quite a challenge. First, there's a lot of data to navigate through. There's a myriad of data on the different demographics in the country, from age related to education attainment to number of people in the household. There's quite a bit of information on there. Are you looking for the information by county, by tract, by city, by village, etc.? So there's a lot of information and a lot of different ways to order it. Also, there are different parts of the U.S. Census. So, for example, there's the American Community Survey, and the American Community Survey provides statistics based on the census and then estimations from those statistics. So you can find information, for example, on commuting times, which are the actual numbers, and then estimations of commuting times. Confusing, huh? Have you ever looked up a NAICS code? NAICS is another part of the U.S. Census. If you are a marketing professional, work in community development, if you're an entrepreneur, a lawyer, or developer, or any sort of real estate professional, and you want to do some sort of market analysis, then exploring NAICS is an absolute critical step. Thing is, NAICS codes are difficult to understand. To use NAICS effectively, you have to use a combination of digits to get from the most broad description of a market to the most narrow. So instead of just looking at the agriculture sector, to look at the agriculture sector in your county, you have to go through a series of digits. Again, confusing, right? Another type of data that the U.S. Census um, offers is tiger line data. The tiger line data is actually very useful for a geographer like me. It offers geographic shapefile data used for visualizing in computer systems. But determining the most appropriate shapefiles to download requires training. Understanding the format of the shapefiles, figuring out their projections, and determining which format a researcher will need requires extensive knowledge of geographic information systems. However, many people do not have that type of training. So, what is the answer to this? What can diminish the confusion on how to use this type of information? CensChat can. Asking a locational expert with CensChat is the answer. The U.S. Census Bureau can initiate an opportunity to work with designated regional and local library staff to deliver a virtual reference chat service for those who would like to access and apply geographic data. Now, how successful are chat services? I'm sure that is what's on everybody's mind. Now, in this day and age, there's a strong likelihood that such a service would be a great success. Though most library transactions still take place face-to-face, use of mobile technologies is ever increasing. The 18 to 29-year-old demographic do at least 45% of their web browsing on their mobile devices. This group also looks favorably to using mobile phone apps for library reference purposes. Importantly, library patrons in this age range, for the most part, feel that their questions are answered in a timely manner. Mobile and chat library services have been increasingly popular since they were introduced in the early 2000s. In 2018, it was documented that 43% of urban-based libraries have a virtual reference system in the form of chat or instant messaging. 33% have text or SMS communication systems. When considering academic institutions, 100% of the top 100 universities, offer virtual chat or instant messaging. 81% of those offer text and SMS services. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, who is the audience for this service? Well, let me tell you, it's everyone. It's an absolute game changer for information professionals. By this, I mean researchers, scholars, journalists, social scientists, planners, and business professionals. Groups who embed statistical modeling and analysis in their work would greatly benefit from this. It gives them the opportunity to engage with the census in a more nuanced way that ultimately will further their research. Libraries will also greatly benefit from this service. They're in the position to be the purveyors of geographic data in a new and exciting way. This service adds another dimension to the relationship that libraries have with their patrons. Assisting with geographic data inserts the librarian a little bit more into a patron's research project. Opportunities for strengthening research competencies and overall information literacy are abundant. Also, for libraries, it really puts them in a position where they will have to collaborate with other local libraries to make this service successful. This builds professional networks and community linkages that can potentially produce positive externalities for future endeavors in other areas of interest. And let me just underscore that really the big beneficiaries of a service like this is the public itself, the public at large. Engaging in a service like this as another avenue of communication between librarian and patron. It also supports the acquisition and refining of information literacy skills. In 21st century America, in what has been termed the knowledge economy, for all demographic groups, the ability to find, summarize, analyze, and navigate data is now compulsory through all segments of society, whether it be for social, business, educational, civic, or personal matters. Included in that understanding of data is geographic data. Though there definitely is a ubiquity of map services available for phones and the internet, geographic data is much more than that, hence the need for a service like this. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering, this sounds really great, but how do we do this? What platform is this service going to be launched on? And the platform that I propose to launch the service on is Viber. Now, Viber is great because it's a free service that supports video and audio calls, allows the sharing of images, and records and stores messages. It's a malleable service in that it can be synced to all devices. So you can use your laptop with the Viber platform. You can use your mobile phone. You can use a desktop computer. So why this platform? I think this platform is great, again, because of the different functionality that it offers. It's possible to call directly and leave messages. It's possible, of course, to live chat, as we require for this service. Using this platform, one can build communities. For example, if an academic institution wanted to build a secluded environment around accessing census data, they can do so on this platform. Each community can create a blog focused on the types of questions they receive. The nice thing also is that it's possible to conduct analytics and collect metadata on the patrons and the types of questions received. It's a secure platform, so data shared and questions asked are confidential. Viber works internationally as well. So when you're in that conference in Barcelona, you can still access this platform. Now, how will it work? So how does this work? Let me give you an example. I'll give you an example using the UW system. So let's say the UW system wants to launch CensChat and work with the U.S. Census Bureau. And so the concept for this is very decentralized. The U.S. Census Bureau offers training in how to use their data, but the sort of the point person or liaison would be one or two of the libraries in a group of libraries. So in this example, that library or those libraries can be UWM or UW-Madison. UWM is ideal because it hosts the AGSL library, which is a geographic focused library. So people who work, or librarians who work at those two libraries, would be the designated sort of reference chat specialist who would be able to explain how to use census data to patrons. So any student at any of the UW schools, in clicking the CensChat link on the library website, they will automatically be able to contact a designated librarian from either the UW-Madison system or the UWM system and get help for their projects concerning geographic data. Okay, so let me give you another example using public libraries. So smaller scale libraries would operate regionally. The designated contact person would come from the library district. The designated administrator from a selected library district would be the contact person for all the libraries in that district, as well as the contact person with the U.S. Census Bureau. That person would receive training. He or she can administer the virtual reference chat in real time, along with their traditional duties, of course. Since this is a specific type of data, and for smaller libraries, the demand may not be as high as a research institution. The administrator can use the Viber-supported modes of communication like email, voicemail messages, and blog posts to communicate explanations of geographic data, as well as having at designated times live chats. So what does the Census Bureau gain in implementing the service? The Census Bureau, actually, they gain quite a bit. Uh, because they're tasked with collecting demographic data and topological data of the United States, having a service like this will allow them to better understand how people implement, use, and apply their data. Thank you all so much for being here today and listening to this. Let me conclude by underscoring that investing in such a service is advantageous for both the U.S. Census Bureau, any library entity that participates, researchers, students, geographic information professionals, the business community, and just the overall public. It is cutting-edge technology. It is easy to use. It's free. It is easy to embed in a large infrastructure. Analytics and metadata can easily be procured. All interested parties get a lot for practically no monetary investment. A service like this really does represent the evolution of library services, digital services, and web services, quite frankly. It's significant for the Census Bureau and anyone who wants to better navigate authoritative geographic data. So again, thank you all so much for coming today. All right, any questions? Any questions? All right, I have one question from this gentleman. How will this scheme work for public libraries? The public libraries have the option of registering with a district library or a consortium of libraries. That consortium of libraries would then register sort of as a group to the U.S. Census Bureau. Okay, so the local library has to register with the consortium has to register with the U.S. Census Bureau. Right, next question. What if a library is not part of a consortium? If it's not part of a consortium, a library, basically the way that this service works is that it is decentralized. So a local library, in order to access this chat service, they have to belong to a consortium or a group of libraries that are registered, or to some sort of district library, a district that has the service. All right, and then last question, can people access all types of geographic data from this service? No, they can access geographic information that is procured by the U.S. Census Bureau. So there's loads of demographic data and business data and tiger line shapefile, roads, that type of data that is squarely focused on by the U.S. Census. That's the type of information that can be referenced through chat and the service. All right, thank you so much. If you have other questions, feel free to email me. I will let you all have my email, and thank you again for coming. Goodbye.